This is Marc Sims, just asking a few questions, just a few questions, live from Chicago on tape, whatever. It's not tape. It's a recording. Marcia Logan is on the line. Marcia, how are you from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania? What's
I'm well.
up? What's
Let's
up?
go. How's it out there in Chi Town?
Same old, same old. You know how it is. But you were telling me earlier that you went to visit family and you had a nice time.
I
Tell
had
me
an
about it.
awesome time. An awesome time. It was as if, I don't know, I've never in my, I don't know, it's like things have just been happening. Some of the best made plans are not made. And I was actually just picking my daughter up and was going to run in and run out because my cousin had taken her out playing with her son. And my cousin came in. She said, "Park that car." I'm like, it's like quarter to 10. I'm ready to go home. So I go in, and a conversation ensues. My cousin, my son, who was with me, is 23, and her husband, who's actually I was actually the oldest person in the room, which was really wild. And they just got to talking. The men started talking, and then they started, socializing. The children were playing, the music was playing, and people were getting in conversations that were, maybe uh, a little heated, but it was all in love. You know what I mean? I felt very safe. It actually put me in memory of the kind of house parties that my parents used to have. My parents every week, you I was either over my godmother's house, whose house I was in, because her granddaughter lives there now, or here in my mother's house, or in a family's house down 15th and Styles. And every weekend, the families would get together and the friends in the neighborhood. They would go over someone's house, drinking, eating, some dancing, not a lot of dancing, but card playing. I think they played Jenga this particular night. I didn't realize Jenga has a drinking game, but that's what it was, and it was just so much fun. And looked at my 23-year-old son, and I'm like, this is what he needs. My cousin said they do it every Friday and Saturday night, and I said, you know what, this is going to become a habit. We're going to come over here more. People bring a bottle or just a little appetizer, and just come and enjoy each other. You know,
I
it
wish I
was
would. I
that,
wish
and
I was that nice, but I'm not. But you had a good
what
time.
do you
You
mean?
you were
I had a
connecting with
great
human
time.
beings, which we all like to
I had
do.
a great time. I think it's integral to social. Everybody talks about, because I homeschool my daughter. Oh my God, how does she get socialization? That's how you get out around people and you interface with them. That's how you get socialization. You don't have to be sitting next to Pookie in class who's picking your hair or popping you upside the head or bullying you to be socialized.
Well,
Just
socialization
being
is
around people.
socialization is needed, much needed, Marcia Logan. But some people like me really don't like to socialize. So how
I
do
don't either. I
you don't?
can't tell you the last time I've been out. I can't tell you. Like I said, I was ready to pick her up and go home. My cousin made me park the car.
No, I
She
think
made me come
I know,
in.
but I think some
And I'm
people
glad
don't
she did.
want to socialize because some people are introverts, some people are a mixture of introverts and extroverts, and some people just extroverts, which is fine. And I think you just have to find that group or a few people that you are comfortable with. Then
Well, I
it's
think
okay.
sometimes you can't find that because you're not given the opportunity. You know what I mean? You might feel like you're an introvert because you've never been given the opportunity to be an extrovert. You've never been out around people since high school or since college or whatever, you know, canned kind of organizational enterprise to which you were affiliated. Now that's different than just going out on your own, being in a less formal. Excuse the phone. I'm sorry,
No,
it's
no,
my
this keep
father's
going, keep
phone. It's
going,
ringing in
keep
the
going.
background.
Yeah.
Um, but sometimes people, they say I'm a this or I'm a that because they haven't had the opportunity to come out of their little
No,
shelter
no,
or
no.
their
I
little
think that
place of
you have
peace.
to. Sometimes people had bad experiences going to parties or other events, and they had bad experience.
Again, that's that,
I know, but
and I understand that, but that's because that one little incident happened and it scarred you. Whereas that incident may not have been, like I said, I was in a place of love. You know what I mean? Even though no, people weren't going around hugging each other, and I had just met my cousin's neighbors, I felt safe. You know what I mean? So it was a place where if I wanted to get up and dance or get up and sing or have a conversation, and we were having deep conversations. We were having conversations about, Africa and racism and slavery. And I mean, conversations that you don't normally have because of all kinds of reasons. You don't want to say something inappropriate or you don't want to say something. whatever.
But you agree,
But
you have to find people who have the same likes and dislikes you have, or
well, see,
something
I didn't
close.
even know these
Well,
people.
no, no.
I think that's part of
Yeah, but wait. The thing about
socialization,
you,
though.
there was a place where you left your daughter, so there was some safety, there was some
Well, no, she would.
kinship.
Well, remember, my cousin had taken her out, and my cousin brought her back to my other cousin's. I thought she was bringing her home, and
Right.
she just so happened to drop her off there, and I came there. My daughter wasn't. I didn't even know she was going to be there. I
Yeah, but
thought my other cousin was bringing
when
her
I'm saying
home.
there are people who may be listening to this who are lonely. There are people who are lonely for different reasons. They've gotten older. A lot of people have passed on, or they're younger, and let's say they, I don't know what age. Let's say 30 or 40, and they got out of the habit of visiting people. And
Like me.
so I know
That's me.
then you
I'm a
say
caregiver of elder parents.
right.
I never go anywhere.
But the
Seriously.
other thing is that no one's asking you to come there. That's the other thing. No
Exactly.
one's asking Marcia Logan, hey, Marcia, come on over here and chill out with us.
Exactly. You're
So,
right.
and that's the other
And I
thing.
got out of that habit. I don't even dress on the weekends. I clean, I cook, and make sure my daughter gets out or pick my sons up from work or whatever. I never just like go out on my own, and
Okay.
that's why I guess that's why I love this so much because it put me in memory of when I was younger and families got together a little bit more regularly and just enjoyed each
Well,
other.
see, that was
You know,
happenstance. That was something that just happened to you, which is phenomenal, right? They got fancy
yes.
words I can't serendipity and synchronicity and some other I kismet I can't I don't forget what kismet was. They got these fancy words, but there are people. Let's wrap this up real quick. There's people out here who are lonely, who are stuck in the house, and they could be just 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old, whatever, definitely 60, and they're not outgoing, and they've got out of the rhythm of just visiting or calling someone or saying hi on social media. And they're scared to reach out because Mark may bite them in the because I am a nasty
Well, see,
person at
social
times.
media, I
You know what
think,
I'm
is a
saying?
lot of the reason of that.
Yeah.
Social media has not given people the opportunity to engage face to face. People feel okay, or they feel like typing, being these revolutionary typing warriors, or just saying whatever they want to say. That makes them comfortable being home, and it gives them a sense of you know camaraderie with these people that they're interfacing with on the internet.
Yeah, but
And
they're
because of
socializing.
that,
You would agree they're social. You may not agree. They're socializing without getting hurt. A lot of people don't socialize
but
because they're
that's
afraid of
not
getting hurt.
socializing.
Well,
See,
there's
and that's why when they're thrust in situations where they have to socialize and they have to interface, they don't know how to do it. They're awkward. They're short. They don't know how to. They feel uncomfortable,
because people are
and that's part of the reason is they
because
don't
people
get
are
the
some people are
opportunity
mean. They beat you up. They beat you down. They criticize them, and you
because
go
they,
back in the
you know what I'm
house.
saying. Well, again, it's because a lot of people are comfortable in their little rooms, and behind the typewriter, you can be mean, you can be rude, you can be disrespectful, and what's really going to be the consequence?
No,
Nobody's gonna come around you. It doesn't
no,
matter. You're not around people anyway.
right.
Again, socialization has such keys to it, to our growth, to our ability to interact, and our ability to become empathetic.
Yeah, it was.
A lot of us are not empathetic because we don't deal with people,
I know, but
except in
socialization sometimes is like public speaking. People are terrified, and when you get out of that
because
rhythm,
they don't
it,
do it.
I know
They don't get the
because it's hard
opportunity.
to find people that here's a group or here's something going on. I'm going to go show up and sit in the back of the room, and hopefully no one's mean to me. And maybe a few people might be nice to me. It's
Again,
horrifying.
as an adult, sometimes you have to take that risk. That's what growth is about. Growth is not about sitting at home acquiescing and cowering and praying that no one is mean to me. You know, some of that being, some of those experiences, although uncomfortable, they facilitate growth. And so the next time someone's mean to you, it won't be as scary because, hey, guess what? They're mean to me and I'm still alive. I'm okay. So what? The world doesn't like me. I don't like the world either. You never get to understand that if you never get the experience.
All
I
right,
mean, because
so
there are a lot of people I don't want to be around. A lot of people don't like me, and I don't go to a lot of things. I say no. I just don't go. But there's a lot of stuff going on.
well,
Open up
somebody.
these penny savers.
I know.
Listen to the community service announcements on your
Yeah,
NPR stations.
but if
There are a
somebody,
lot of
there's a
things
lot of
going
stuff
on.
out there. But if somebody reaches out to you on social media, are you gonna beat them up and be mean to them?
Me, no, because that's not my personality. That's just not me. But you know, I'm like this. I'm gonna say what I want to say, and I've gotten into. Matter of fact, I just read something today from over a year ago that someone who I graduated from high school with and hadn't been in contact with. for a while, but that's just the way Girls High is. We can come back together and we're just like family, even though we haven't seen each other in decades. But this one particular person, I had put something out there about racism, and this person is mixed, but because doesn't look mixed, I don't know, she sort of walks this fine line of being able to tell me how I should feel about slavery and then get upset if I say something like, Dr. John Henry Clark always said Africans have no friends, and then take it personally and play all these little games that people play. So, but and I'm not going to back down from that. You know what I mean? I'm going to say what I want to say, and I tell people, you can defriend me anytime you want. I won't lose any sleep. I'm going to say what I want to say on my post. You can say what you want to say on your post, and that is what social media is. It makes little autonomous people who have their own little empires in their homes, and you're never going to learn how to interact with people if you don't get outside of that comfort zone. That's why a lot of people are awkward. That's why we have a lot of relationship problems, because these people were not socialized outside of their little comfort zone box. At some point you have to interact with people. No man is an island. You have to get out. You have to work. You have to eat. You have to interact. That's just part of the human condition. We're not designed to be alone. It's a matter of fact, it's like anti-human to not want to interact with people and be around people, even if it's one person. You have to come outside of yourself in order to see who you are. I mean, just being with yourself, you don't even know who you are. You don't even know how you're going to react. You know how you think you're going to react. But when you get in a situation and you're with people and you're given opportunities for growth, for expression, like I tell my sons all the time, who's a singer, the best way you get at interviewing or auditioning is to go on more interviews and go on more auditions. And the more you go on them, the more comfortable they become, and the better you become at doing them. But you're not going to do that sitting at home praying that everyone is nice to you, or living in this fantasy that's inside of your head that only exists inside of your home.
All right, Marcia Logan, tell your boys I'm going to interview them soon. Tell them to get out of their little shell. Because some people don't want to even go on a simple podcast like this. Thanks for the
Right.
inspiration. I'll talk to you next month.
Thank you.